Hey folks, it's Jake here at Canadian Cutting Edge, and what are we looking at today? We're looking at this. This is a tiny little Enlan knife, flipper tab on the blade, wood handles. You can get it with G10 as well. Very, very budget friendly. So if you're in the market for something tiny, it is Wee Wednesday. You'll want to stick around and watch this video. Keep watching. So this little guy is kind of hard to show off. Here's just a standard pen. Yeah, it's a tiny little knife. You've got a flipper tab right there. And if I'm holding it just right, whoops, had one finger over top of the blade there. It flips quite well. So there's a nice, not perfect mirror finish, but a decent mirror finish. You can see my fingerprints on there already. You've got a cool blade shape, a little bit of a fuller there, and a hole, and a drop point, nice belly there. And it says Enlan, and then you get the model number right there. The EW148 has got this wood finish, and that's beautiful wood grain. I really, really like it. And you can see the milling in there for the, you see these radiating lines. It almost looks like the wing of some kind of bug or something, insect. You can get this knife the exact same thing except for with a GREY G10, and it's very close to the same price, so that's not bad at all. You've got a D-shaped pivot, so it doesn't slip through. It's a locked pivot, so that's really good. You just need the one side there. I haven't taken it apart to show you because there's no skeletonizing in there to show you or anything. It does have ball bearings, so steel ball bearings. That's, you know, cool for a little knife like this, but now they're putting ball bearings in everything. So little lanyard hole, not a lanyard hole, but the little hole back here, tiny little back spacer. It comes with this really light chain, and that chain, I think, is not a good idea. I think it's going to break on you, and you're going to lose your knife. I put this little split ring on here myself, and that's, I think, a 5mm split ring. I've seen in the stores that you can buy 4mm and 3mm, and that's the entire diameter across. And so I think I'm going to buy some smaller ones just to make it a little more convenient for some of these little knives. I like to wear it around my neck like I showed you in the intro. And, you know, it's a cool little knife. Is it functional? Well, you've got 12C27 Sandvik steel on the blade. And if you've got a way to sharpen it, and hopefully you do, that's a really good thing. Nice sharpness choil there. It's a beautiful little knife. The lockup is perfect for a brand new knife. You can see where it engages the lock bar arm, engages the tang of the blade. There's lots of life for it to wear over. The detent is very solid. It holds the knife closed. It's not going to accidentally open on my neck. You have to pull it quite hard to get it started. So that's a good thing. It's just a beautiful little knife. Let's go over all of the dimensions here. I'm going to put this down on the table and then zoom in. Okay, the dimensions. The cutting edge is 3.8 centimeters, 1.5 inches. The blade length is about 4 centimeters, 1.58 inches. The blade thickness is 2 millimeters. That's 0.0785 inches. The blade depth is 1.45 centimeters. That's 0.57 of an inch. The thickness of the edge behind the grind right there is 0.39 millimeters. That's 0.0155 inches. Nice and thin behind the grind. This was a little too small. I didn't get a perfectly accurate reading when I was measuring the grind angle, but the grind is quite good. The blade is, you know, sharp from the factory. This is the factory edge. All I have to do is strop the thing a little bit and it's going to get even better. And I'm getting my fillet knife sharpening kit soon, and then I'll be able to clamp it here and sharpen it up even more. And that's the kit that I'm getting for my TS Prof, so I'm looking forward to that, my K02 system. The handle length is 5.59 centimeters, 2.2 inches. The grip area, 4.6 centimeters, 1.81 inches. The handle thickness is 1.02 centimeters, 0.4 of an inch. The handle depth this way, the belly of it right there, is 1.4 centimeters, 0.55 of an inch. And when it's closed, it's got the same depth. The total length of this knife, when it's open, is 9.85 centimeters, 3.88 inches. It weighs all of 21 grams, which is 3/4 of an ounce. How much is this thing going to set you back? It's going to set you back $7.84 US. Free shipping from GearBest. GearBest is the only store where I found this, so you go ahead and buy it from them. Unfortunately, they're not shipping to Canada yet, again, or still. Ever since a lot of Canadians were demanding that GearBest, reimburse them because CBSA took their knives away. So GearBest said, we can't afford to pay for all these knives when it's not our fault. When it's the Canadian government that's taking it, we can't afford to pay for that. So GearBest is no longer shipping knives to Canada. I'm trying to get them to ship fixed blades to Canada again because CBSA doesn't take those. Very good price for what you get. The G10 version's basically the same price, or almost exactly the same price. And, GearBest isn't charging any shipping on this. It's beautiful. The unique features are it's so tiny and yet totally functional. A good detent. It's an awesome little knife. Actually works great for opening little packages. It's not going to scare anybody. You take this out in the lunchroom or in your office to open a package, cut up something small. You're not going to cut up your great big apple that's the size of your fist, but, it can cut up all kinds of little things. The only con in here that I can think of is this wimpy little chain. I wish they wouldn't have done this. A different chain would be better because people are actually going to rely on this. People that don't watch my video or something, somebody who buys this thing and doesn't realize it, this thing's going to break on them and they'll lose the knife. But instead, I would suggest getting a little split ring and then, get a half decent chain. This is just like a little piece of plumber's chain that I got. But I got it with a different knife, but that's all that it is. Nice and sturdy, much more sturdy than this little stuff. And you can get these little clips, carabiner clips, and all that you do is click it on there and then ignore this little chain. And that will hold it just fine. And let me get the chain out of the way. Because now that this review is done, that chain is never going to get used again, that tiny little one. And, hanging around your neck like this, at least for me, I don't mind it. It looks kind of good. It looks kind of funky. It's, the cool factor is there. I don't think any reasonable, if you're not allowed to do any concealed carry of knives, I don't think any police officer that's reasonable is going to charge you anything for this. And if they decide to take it away from you, the thing is less than $8 US. No big deal at all. If you were to buy this in the United States, I can see this at an American gas station selling like for twice that easily. But especially when you've got Sandvik 12C27 stainless steel blade. And I've got no reason to doubt that that's what it is because all the knife factories in China have access to that steel and use it an awful lot. And since it's such a tiny piece, that's why the price is so low. So there you go. Beautiful little knife, easy to carry, looks cool, and might even be a nice little conversation starter. And you've got an edge or something to pierce something when you need it. So thanks for watching my little video. Happy Wee Wednesday to you. Remember, guys, always cut towards your chum, not your thumb. Bye now.